welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I'm Shadinato, and in today's video we're going to be talking about all about that base, so we're talking about basically my base routine. So we're going to be talking about foundation, primer, contour, blush, and highlight, and kind of how I sculpt my face into looking like this, you know, a little catfish, you know. I'm just kidding. But this is basically what I'm gonna do to kind of sculpt my face, because obviously it ain't that sculpted and we need a little help. But anyway, so this is basically just all about that. So I'm not gonna be including anything about eyeshadows, lips, or eyebrows. So that probably will be another video of its own. But I just wanted to kind of focus really on the bare minimum and like the bare essentials, I mean. But so let's just really get into the video, and it's gonna be like a talk over, like a voiceover, I mean. And yeah, so let's get into it.
Okay, so I look kind of miserable, but right now I'm just about to put some clips into my hair to keep my hair out of my face. And yeah, so now I'm just putting on some moisturizer. At the end, you'll see this is just the Neutrogena Sensitive Skin Moisturizer that I use. I love this stuff. Now I'm going in with a hydrating primer from Wet n Wild. This stuff smells so good, and I love it. And I just put this pretty much everywhere just to lock in some moisture. And sometimes I'll substitute with this with hyaluronic acid, but here are the two primers I'll be using. The Pore Professional, which is just meant to fill in the my like most porous areas, and then right now I'm using a stippling brush to kind of get the product really in there. Now you're going to see me use the Makeup Revolution primer, and this primer is a mattifying primer, so I usually put it around my cheeks where I don't have as many big pores. So I also use a stippling brush to distribute this product all over my face as well. It just helps not distribute too much, as in like pick up any extra. And now I'm going in with an orange color corrector to get those acne scars that kind of turn into like a really dark purple now on my face. And now I'm going to go in with the same stippling brush and distribute the product. Now with a damp beauty blender, I'm going to go back in and just buff a little bit more. And this also brings back some hydration. Now I'm going in with a yellow color corrector under my eyes, and this will just help kind of that blue purple underneath my eyes, and it will neutralize the blue. And I just use a beauty sponge just to kind of buff it out into the skin, and obviously it's a damp beauty blender. Now I'm going to go in with a lavender, and the lavender will kind of neutralize the yellow, because yellow is too much and it'll look way too cakey and weird looking if I just leave it like that. And now I use a damp beauty sponge and just buff it in. And you'll see I use my fingers because I see a dry spot and to really get in there. Now I'm going to use a hydrating foundation. I use the Neutrogena Hydro Boost, and I love this stuff. However, after a while, since my skin is naturally like a little bit oily, it will kind of break apart. But since this is for just a short time, I'll use this foundation. And now I'm just going to go in with a stippling brush and just distribute the whole foundation and product everywhere in my face. And back in with a beauty sponge, I'm just going to kind of bring back some hydration in some spots and kind of buff in areas where I applied color corrector. Now I'm going to go in with a NARS concealer, which is really lightweight and hydrating, and I'm going to put that on my under eyes just because the yellow and the lavender still peek out, so I just want to kind of cover that up and get a little coverage underneath there. Now with the Laura Mercier translucent powder, I'm just going to basically set my face, and I'm just going to go in where I put concealer or anything color correcting wise. And I'm going to use a brush just to dust off any leftover translucent powder. And now I'm going in with a cream contour stick, and I'm just going to juice that as I would, just on my temples, on my cheeks. And then I usually like to put it right near my nose and underneath my chin. Now I'm just going to use a beauty sponge and just kind of buff that in. Since I didn't set my whole face, the areas where I applied the stuff will still be good. Now I'm going to set my whole face with some Avon pressed powder, and I'm just going to kind of set anywhere I didn't set with the translucent. Now onto bronzer. I'm going to use the Revolution bronzer, and this is it's in cool, so this will kind of bring some dimension into my face and give me back that tan I naturally already have. And back in with the pressed powder. If you look at the technique I'm using, I'm patting on the powder and then I'm going to roll on the powder onto my face with a sponge. And this will keep my oils at bay, and this will help absorb a lot more. Now for blush, I love blush. This is a Wet n Wild blush in Mellow Wine, and I'm just going to apply blush like I normally would at my cheeks, and then I'm going to apply it at my nose. And with a brush with no product, I'm just going to blend pretty much the blush and the contour together just to get that natural blend. And then from Winky Lux in Bubbles, they have this wonderful highlight, and it actually goes on really well on set skin, so I love using this. It doesn't break apart or pick up any product that you had already put down. So I love this, and it gives you that like glow within. And now I'm going to set my face with this hyaluronic fixing spray, and this will just maintain the moisture or bring back moisture that I lost, and it'll give me a nice inner glow. Now let me just dry that off, and this is how I look. This is my skin after I just applied everything. I'm just going to pat in that highlight, and it looks like my skin, which is kind of the goal sometimes for me. And yeah, this is how we're looking. Whoop whoop.
Alrighty, so this is the final look. This is how my skin is looking. And for having some dry patches underneath, my routine is kind of spot on. It really helps because I got a dry patch over here, and you'll see because I'll use my finger to kind of really get the product in. And most of my products are lightweight and hydrating, so that's really good. And then you'll see a couple techniques I use to keep places where I get a lot of oil on at bay. So yeah, if you guys watched the end of the video, comment down below what your favorite part was or what your favorite part of your makeup routine is. Yeah, and I'm so excited. But I'm about to do another look for 31 days of Halloween. So I'm doing a Halloween look every day in October, and I'm about to do one right now. So I didn't want to do anything crazy on my eyes. And yeah, so I just only put some mascara and then a little lippy. But I am so excited. Go check out Artsy with Shani on my Instagram, and you'll see all the looks every single day. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn the notification bell on. I post every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time unless something happens, but I'll let you guys know. And yeah, see you guys on the flip side.
I tell them I'm California dreaming.